it's Link Plays Games. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to our life. So I do love this game. Um, it's so peaceful. Like, the music is just beautiful. It's so cozy feeling. And I'm excited because I found this game back in like 2018 when I had a laptop. At the time, I was doing makeup videos for YouTube. Now, this is way back when. This is like before the, makeup beauty channels really just went and derailed themselves. And I was wanting to get into gaming, and I was learning how to do gaming from my phone. I had just learned how to do Stardew Valley, and I was playing that, and then I was trying to learn to record from my laptop. I feel like I'm really coming full circle here lately on my channel with a lot of the things that I'm like doing now, with playing Our Life, something I tried to play back in 2018, replaying Pocket Pioneers, cutting my hair again, and just feeling really comfortable and good about myself because like real talk for a second. I've always loved my hair being short. I always loved the short hair. Everyone's like, grow your hair out, grow your hair out. So I decided, I was going to grow my hair out because everyone else wanted me to. And that has so far led to me not feeling like myself. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved the long hair. It was cute. I was constantly wearing adorable messy buns. But that was it. I was wearing messy buns. What's the point of having long, beautiful hair if I was wearing it tied up? I mean, technically I have it tied up at the top. I'm gonna pause for a second and show you guys. I kept all the length at the top. It's not gonna do right because I got product in it. But I mean, I still have the length from the top of it if I have to wear it down. But anyways, let's get back into this game. Because like I said, it sounds so nice. So the chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of waves on the shore and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. So you get to choose. You've always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. You love to hear stories about the sea and about the merfolk and sea serpents. You imagine living far beneath the waves. You didn't enjoy the beach all that much, especially the sand, which got absolutely everywhere. It's funny, my stepdad would choose that choice. He hates sand. But for me, I love to hear, the folklore, the stories. I've always had, like, a fondness for the ocean. I don't really particularly like sharks or anything that could, like, get me. I don't like to, like, touch fish. But I love to hear stories about, like, mermaids and stuff like that, so sometimes you could almost convince yourself you've seen a flash of a shiny mermaid's tail in the distance. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try to relax, but couldn't. You weren't so sure what, but something told you you weren't alone, so you glanced around. Oh, is that Cove? He's got the pink cast and the glasses. There was a boy sitting at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him for a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have green hair, wavy eyebrows, huge glasses, pink cast, sad frowns. I mean, yes, all those. Let's go with the green hair, but this new boy did. You watched as it fluttered softly around his face in the breeze. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward and then another. And then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected in the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show that you weren't scary. Hey, Space Cadet? That... Are you lost? Just hi. With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fist at his side. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He had been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks, and his knees soaking the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining with a few more. Aww. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man had said earlier stuck out to you. Cove? Eyes wide, he'd studied you. How did you know that? I'm all-knowing. I mean, the dad said not to say. Lucky guess. No, I tell the truth. Okay, your dad told me who you were. So is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. You can't own a hill. Why not? How could you? You just do. I had a hill back home. Well, this still isn't mine. Oh. You can't own a hill. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered the hills rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers, too. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. We'll go with why you hear. Quiet hiccup escaped Cove as you asked the question. Almost like they never stop, his tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents, they don't want to live together with me anymore. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took me with him. Now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard, but by the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heavy with exhaustion. He sniffed and removed his glasses, wiping his eyes with the back of his hand before putting them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. Wow. This is, like, really heavy. For those who don't know, I know what it's like being in a divorced family. When I was younger, my mom and my birth father separated, and though I don't know him all that well, I don't really have anything to do with him. Lots there that we're not unpacking. But I can understand that thought of, you know, parent not wanting you, and, you know, why can't I just go back and stuff like that. And I think it's when you get older, you finally realize that they didn't just divorce for themselves. They divorced for you. To, you know, make your life better, because sitting there with parents screaming and yelling is not healthy. You know, and a lot of people make the joke of, well, you get 2 Christmases, and you get 2 birthdays, and you get 2 of everything, and it's not true. Not in all cases. And it sucks. It does. But, like I said, when you get older, you come to realize how much of your parents' choices were done for you and not against you. And to see, like, something like this, like a little kid character heartbroken over this, it reminds you of, you know, back when. And this is really pulling on my heartstrings. I want my mom. I'm sorry, your dad seems kind of nice. You'll like it here. You just have to get used to it. Stop crying. I'm sorry. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his finger against his eyelids. He wound himself up again for another long crying fit. You felt bad for him, being forced to come here with no choice. Honestly, it does suck. Being moved, after something like that. I've mentioned many times on my channel, I moved from New York when I was little, and I moved down to Georgia. My mom met someone new, and when I was younger, I didn't understand. For a while, I couldn't be mad at my mom, because she was choosing to be happy, and she was choosing, better choices for us. And, sometimes I didn't get it at the time. But when you're in situations like this, where you get moved, and you don't want to, and you have to leave behind friends and family, it sucks. But that just opens your world up to meet new people, and find the people that are meant to be in your life. I would not have met Will if I never moved to Georgia. Who's to say I'd even still be doing this? There's a chance I could have been doing this. I could have maybe started this a lot sooner. I could have, maybe never thought a second thought of it. Who knows? But, choices your parents make for you, even when they're the hard decisions and you don't understand them in that moment, you'll come around to understand one day. You couldn't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your moms, but it must be pretty hard. From way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell him we're here. I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. It'll be okay. You were struck by a sudden need to reassure Cove. It's not going to be all fun, but isn't he your family too? Yeah, I guess. Then you can count on him when you really, really need him. You shot him a grin and pushed yourself to your feet. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. He looked towards the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his non-bandaged arm. I still don't want to go. Am I gonna be a snitch? Am I gonna just be patient? Or am I gonna continue to be reassuring? Are you sure? You'd have to stay outside the whole night and sleep on wet grass. Before Cove could say anything else, you heard his dad's voice again, even closer than before. There you are, bud. The trio of her parents peered over the curve of the hill. Instantly, their eyes landed on you as they rushed over. Both your moms were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. You're here after all. We had been at the park to check for Cove, and then we heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. Thought you might have gone off further away. We're okay, don't worry. No, we're just sitting in the grass. We're okay. Okay, you two having fun out here? You looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. He's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. I'm just gonna shrug. He's new here. It was okay. Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you. Thanks very much for finding him. Don't really know this neighborhood. Good thing Lynk knows this area very well. Absolutely. We should be getting home now. It's been a long day for all of us. Say goodbye, Cove. That breaks my heart. Tell you what. We'll have a proper play date tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? It sounds like words. Nodded. Ducking your head down. Sure, can I show him my new stuff? Or show him my stuff? Then okay. Both your moms laughed and the sound of overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Alright. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long, exciting day, you followed them home. Choose your feelings towards Cove. This is how you feel towards Cove for this step. Can change in later steps. Okay. I feel relaxed. I'm fond of him because, you know, I understand him. So let's go ahead. Begin step 1 at relaxed fondness. Yes. At the breakfast table the next morning, you finished your food faster than usual. Your sister Lizzie had to run out earlier to go play, but you stayed put. Just like your moms had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. She's got a nose ring. I love that. Oh my god, that is wild to me. So, if she had blue eyes, this would have been me not too long ago. Like, the hair, 2018. The glasses, 2021. Oh, that's beautiful. Excited to see your new friend, Lynk? Yeah, I am. So happy he moved in. With that said, are you done with your breakfast? I don't know, am I? Yeah. I've learned not to smart off. Okay. Anyways, begin to clean up on cue. There was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Could you get it? Sure. Wiggling out of your chair without really pushing it back, you made your way to the door. Hey, Plays Games family. Thanks for having us. Mr. Holden, as your mom has called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him, you and Cove looked at each other. Pleased to see your new friend again, you smiled at Cove. He smiled back with some hesitation. Okay, so you're gonna be twisting something. You gotta play with something. Probably the bead. Let's go play in my room. Okay. Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids. See you later. Play nice. You led him to your room, puffing out your chest a little at the sight of your treasures. There was lots of stuffed animals, a cool bed, a window to look out of. That is a cute bedroom. Look at the little desk. It was a great room, but you hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. He leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I like this. I'll just say thank you. You smiled at him. You're proud of that particular piece of art. You were glad he noticed it. Turned around the room. There's a little more, studying the books on your desk and pictures on the wall. I'm just glad for the company. It was nice to have someone new to play with. Then his eyes landed on a tiny box of beach things that you collected, tucked away behind your door. He took a step towards it before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found on the beach. Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box in the middle of the room, you and Cove flopped down next to it. I think so. Yeah, see? You gestured to a piece at the bottom, still covered with specks of sand. This is a good collection. You got a sense of the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice or to be like Silo. Silo? Who's Silo? He actually mentioned... Oh, right, I almost forgot Silo's gonna be here today. Silo? Lizzie's friend. Or, like, her #1 fan, I guess. Do I have to see him? It should be okay. I mean, he's Lizzie's friend, not mine, but you know. Come on, let's check out the shells some more. I found this one under a big piece of seaweed that washed ashore and... Okay, so... There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. Over the past few years, you even learned some of their scientific names. The collection was so huge it varied. You had lots of funny stories. I feel like I'd have lots of stories. Apparently fascinated by either the stories of the shells themselves, Cove listened with what looked like full force of his attention. Like when he almost got pinched by the hermit crab while searching for shells, and after watching him scuttle back into the ocean, he found another empty shell that was almost a twin to his home. It was a new experience to be at the center of such dedicated focus. But Cove hadn't been mean to you, so you didn't mind. You smiled at him every now and then while showing him your collection. Okay, come down to the living room. You tell the idea was making him unhappy, but you weren't given a chance to hang around either. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. Guess it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not because a parent made it happen. Okay. So before you knew it, you both been escorted down the stairs and deposited into the living room, ready for Silo's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor, then drew away. I brought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. Great. Bust it open and we can wait for Shiloh. Big orange shell. I think this is the best of them. You can take it. He looked up at you, surprised eyes going wide. Really? You like it a lot, right? But I don't want to take it from you. It's okay. You got the impression he was hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well. Okay. So I guess we'll give it to him at another time. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, he figured it was probably Silo. Lizzie's friend, he nodded, but didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell what he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. It'll be alright. He's here. We can't tell him to leave. He's at our only door. If you go upstairs, he'll find you. He glanced around his room, his eyes wide, finally paused with his gaze locked onto the back of the house. I can go out the window. He was already walking towards it, scrambled to think of something to say. You stepped forward, then paused. Do you want to break your other arm? Please don't get hurt. I'll come with you. Good idea. Let's go. Hurry, they'll see where we're going. We're a little escape artists now. He glanced back at you, then nodded. The two of you made your way to the window together. It wasn't much of a distance to clamber out of, but by the time you landed gently into the bushes, you looked up to see that Cove was already taking off away from the house. He was fast, but you knew that you could outrun him if he had to. He's not that fast. You know you could outrun him if he had to. He was not that fast, but neither were you. At that speed, you weren't sure if you could go fast enough to reach him. Yeah, no. You ran as fast as your legs could take you, grass whipping around your ankles as you did so. Cautiously, Clove slowed down to a halt and looked back at you. Where are you going? I don't know, somewhere else. I just don't want to see. Oh, we've been spotted. You looked back and saw Silo huffing down the hill after you, the backpack he clutched bouncing all the way down along the way. What are you doing? Can I come? He must have seen you leaving out the window and followed behind. Are you Cove? I'm Silo. Okay. Yep, are we going back or are we gonna play outside? Silo's eyes moved between you and Cove. Smile remained strong on his face. It got a tiny frown from Cove in response. You were just grateful he hadn't asked why you'd been running away. Inside, we left the box on the floor. Silo, trailing behind you and Cove, headed back towards the house. That was cute, though. Little escape adventure. The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach, sing some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else, especially if Cove wasn't having fun. Check out this shell. Pretty cool color, kinda like my cast. The beautiful glittering pink did look a bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink is such a nice color. Okay. Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. Might be yellow. Oh, those are all cool. There are better colors. I like those colors too. Not sure how to deal with the sudden, more awkward silence. You look back at yourselves. You know, I like those colors too. I guess we're trying to impress Cove now. Both of them smiled. Like usual, didn't take long for Silo to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Silo didn't seem to know what to do with himself. Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Lizzie coming back? I don't know. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach, probably. Is she playing at her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of a park. He looked towards you. There's a park? Yep, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you even answered. Silo jumped up beside him in excitement. Really? You'll go too, right, Lynk? The park's fun. Blah, blah. I think we're just proving how bad I am at reading. Alright, the park's pretty great. It's right at the beach, so there's lots of fun stuff to do, lots of sand. It has a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. Sounds like it could be cool. So are we gonna go find Lizzie? I don't know. Never really wanted to see her, just wanted to check the park out. Adrift without any direction, Silo finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your moms, the three of you were ready to head out. So let me actually, since we got to there, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.